I believe in doing things my way.
Bring it up, girls, say. Bring it down, boys, say. Bring it up.
Tonight, Darren Hinch facing jail again.
A short time ago, I was told by police that I would be served today a summons.
Back in the red, stock markets slide around the world ahead of tonight's crucial bailout vote.
The ship is still sinking, and it's sinking faster than this bailout is going to keep it afloat.
I'll betcha you're going to hear some fear.
Facing off the most anticipated vice presidential race ever. Good evening, I'm Belinda Hagan. This is 10's Late News. Also tonight, eBay bargain, a house and land package for just over $2. And guilt-free car glitz. Eco-friendly vehicles go on show in Paris. But first, we have video just in of a truck exploding in Sydney. A man's been injured in the blast. He's suffered burns to his neck and arms. The victim was apparently working from the small truck, repairing covers on the big truck parked behind it. It's not clear how the blaze started. Controversial broadcaster Darren Hinch says he fears going back to jail for publicly naming 2 sex offenders. Set to be charged with flouting court orders, the defiant anti-pedophile campaigner insists he was morally right.
An anxious time for Darren Hinch during his daily radio program, waiting for police to arrive with a summons after learning by email he'll face 5 counts of breaching suppression orders.
A short time ago, I was told by police that I would be served today a summons.
In June, the Human headline named 2 convicted sex offenders at a public rally on the steps of Victoria's State Parliament, defying court orders their identities remain secret.
If I tell you a name, on the count of 3, I want you to repeat it. Then you're all criminals.
3 of the charges relate to blogs on his website. 21 years ago, Hinch was jailed for naming a sex offender. The 64-year-old says he's fearful of doing more time.
Of course you are, always are. It's not a pleasant experience. It's not something that I want to do. It's something that I hope I don't have to do.
Other possible penalties include fines.
Darren's heart is in the right place. It is in the protection of children. Would I have done the same? Probably not. Would I have the guts to do the same? Probably not.
Hinch won't say if he'd name and shame again.
I know that morally I was right. Whether or not I was legally right, that'll be for the courts to decide.
The controversial broadcaster says he will defend the charges. He's due to appear in Melbourne Magistrates Court at the end of the month. Alan Rascal, 10 News.
The Australian dollar has suffered its worst week since 1985, and the local stock market has fallen again after another plunge on Wall Street. Investors remain nervous as they wait for a crucial vote on the US financial bailout package expected within hours.
A 350-point drop in the Dow Jones index used to be met with horror. Now it barely raises a murmur. The US stock market is well used to being battered by economic fear, and the International Monetary Fund is worried.
It is now all too clear that we are seeing the most dangerous shock to the mature financial markets since the 1930s, posing a major threat to global growth.
The $900 billion rescue deal will go to the House of Representatives tomorrow morning for a final vote. President Bush urging lawmakers to pass it.
This is an issue that's affecting hard-working people. They're worried about their savings. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about their houses.
But America is divided.
If this package is not enough and we have to go to the well again, I mean, that presents a whole other set of problems.
They made their own mess. They should clean it up themselves, and why should we have to clean it up for them?
Others argue that while the bill is unpalatable, it's crucial given the US is in recession and $10 trillion in debt.
While there may be some merit in considering this a bailout bill, the ship is still sinking, and it's sinking faster than this bailout is going to keep it afloat.
Our market spent the day in the red, not down by as much as the US, but down again.
With the vote in the US far from guaranteed, there is still concern both here in Australia and around the world of what the impact will be if the rescue deal is not passed.
Even the Prime Minister admits he doesn't want to consider the consequences of the bill failing.
This is still very tight, and I think we've got to watch very carefully what happens in the day or so ahead.
Eddie Meyer, 10 News.
The TD Securities Melbourne Institute monthly inflation gauge has been released today, showing inflation has continued to rise. For more, we're joined by CommSec's Elvina Simpson. And Elvina, what kind of an impact does this have on the prospect of another interest rate cut?
Well, Belinda, it shouldn't have too much of an impact. The TD Securities Melbourne Institute inflation gauge rose by 0.4% over the month of September, and that brought the annual rate to 4.5%. However, when you exclude volatile items such as vegetable, fruit and petrol prices, the underlying inflation actually rose by just 0.1%, with the annual rate easing to 3.5%. So the Reserve Bank has said that it expects inflation to remain high this year. So we are still expecting an interest rate cut next week by at least 0.25%, and also further rate cuts in November and also February next year.
Good news, Elvina Simpson there. To the market in detail now, and the All Ordinaries was down 71 points at the closing bell. The global miners were weaker, BHP Billiton down almost 4%. The gold miners were also off the mark, Newmont dumping almost 7%. The NAB was the only one of the big five banks to get across the line. The Australian dollar is buying under 78 American cents. Gold is worth $838 an ounce. Oil is below $94 a barrel. The housing market in America has hit a new low. An abandoned home was sold on eBay for $1.75. That's just over $2 Australian. The new owner is a 30-year-old from Chicago. She also has to pay around $1,000 in back taxes and yard cleanup costs to the City Council. But she told a local newspaper she's not planning to move in and will now try to sell the house. US vice presidential candidates Sarah Palin and Joe Biden have faced off in their first and only TV debate. And the latest viewer polls suggest while Biden won on points, a straight-shooting Palin was deemed more likeable.
It was billed as the most anticipated vice presidential debate in history.
Hey, can I call you Joe? Okay, good. Thanks.
Niceties aside, the debate between Republican Sarah Palin and her Democratic rival Joe Biden started with the troubled US economy.
The economic policies of the last 8 years have been the worst economic policies we've ever had.
Go to a kid's soccer game on Saturday and turn to any parent there on the sideline and ask them, how are you feeling about the economy? And I'll bet you're going to hear some fear.
Criticised and satirised for appearing poorly informed during recent interviews, the debate was the Alaskan governor's chance to prove she's ready to be the first female vice president. Iraq took on personal significance. Both candidates have sons fighting in the war.
Your plan is a white flag of surrender in Iraq.
We will end this war. For John McCain, there is no end in sight to end this war.
Both tried to appeal to Americans on the home front, Biden becoming emotional when talking about the death of his first wife and daughter in a car accident.
Being a mom, being one who is very concerned about a son in the war, about a special needs child, about kids heading off to college, how are we going to pay those tuition bills?
But the notion that somehow, because I'm a man, I don't know what it's like to raise two kids alone. I don't know what it's like to have a child you're not sure is going to make it.
A spoof computer game suggested Sarah Palin would be the victor. It remains to be seen if she did enough to help John McCain win in November. In the United States, Nicole Strawn, 10 News.
The mystery of missing adventurer Steve Fossett seems to have been solved. Human remains have been found in the wreckage of his plane, but DNA tests will be needed for confirmation.
In California's rugged Sierra Nevada mountains, search and rescue crews discovered the scattered wreckage of Steve Fossett's single-engine plane.
It appeared to me, just looking at the pictures, that it was a head-on crash into the side of a mountain, into a rock.
Investigators say the plane caught fire after the crash. They also confirmed the discovery of human remains, including a bone, hopefully enough for the coroner to make a than half a kilometre from where a hiker found the millionaire's identification cards and money 2 days ago.
Me just finding the card was something. I'm happy I found it. It was a clue, but not finding anything else didn't mean anything. But now they found something else, so I'm really, really happy.
The 63-year-old thrill seeker held 93 aviation records before he disappeared on a routine flight in September last year. He was declared legally dead earlier this year.
I think from a family and friends' point of view, now that the plane has been found, we can bring a proper closure to his life and just look back on it and marvel at it and celebrate it.
It could take months for investigators to find out what caused the crash. Catherine Kennedy, 10 News.
Australian-born Princess Mary has brought back memories of Princess Diana by waging her own war against landmines for the sake of children in Africa.
3, 2, 1, fire now.
Have any of the children at this school that you've been teaching at come across unexploded ordnances?
Yeah, we had a case in Chuero.
The Crown Princess is in Uganda as a representative of Denmark's Refugee Council. Still to come, sacked after saving a life. The heroic submerged car rescue that's cost a man his job. And the machine that's unlocking some of the brain's great mysteries.
Once that first bullet goes past your head, politics just goes right out the window.
Aussie Eric Banner and Josh Hartnett in Ridley Scott's masterpiece, Black Hawk Down, 8:30 Saturday on 10.
She dreams of amazing future. Excitement.
Forty Winks October catalogue sale. Beautiful new furniture designs at introductory prices. Bedroom suites, kids' beds, furniture, mattresses and bases up to 4 years interest-free available. Great value on Australia's best bedding brands. 40 Winks October catalogue sale on now.
Albert Einstein was noted for saying he was never particularly talented. He was merely inquisitive. Are you inquisitive? Things to exercise your mind. Inquisitive. Hobart Road, Kings Meadows.
Showcase Jewellers Journeys of the Heart display showing at Watson's Jewellers until October 10th. View this stunning collection of diamonds, pearls and precious gemstones. A true reflection of quality at Watson's Jewellers.
She can be all that she is meant to be if she would trust in the
Hey, did you know that koalas have 4 thumbs? Check this out. Koala thumbs up?
Yeah, koala thumbs up. But did you also know that koalas are in trouble and need our help?
Oh no, what can we do to help? Well, you can buy one of these cool koala tattoos or visit savethekoala.com. And remember,
Koala thumbs up!
Phillip Island, where heroes rise and fall.
Oh, he's on!
Get on board with the Aussies as they battle the great Valentino Rossi. 2 days of massive action Saturday and Sunday. Feel every turn exclusively on 10.
I believe music takes me to all my favourite places.
I believe dreams really do come true.
I believe music is all about attitude. Seriously.
Queensland's had its first taste of the bushfire season, with a blaze in the Sunshine Coast hinterland threatening homes. Thick smoke choked hilltop houses as fire crews scrambled to keep the flames at bay with the help of 2 helicopter water bombers. Locals suspect the blaze was deliberately lit. Fire authorities are warning that after Queensland's unusually wet winter, there's plenty of undergrowth to burn, and this weekend is forecast to be a scorcher. Bravery awards have been recommended for 3 men who dragged an unconscious driver from a car after it plunged into a river. Bloodied and exhausted, they hauled him through a shattered window of his submerged car. But in a shocking postscript, one of the heroes has been sacked for not turning up for work today.
Frantic scenes in the Nerang River where ordinary bystanders witnessed a car crash and found themselves in an extraordinary situation.
He's hit the side rail and just flipped into the water. He hit the rocks and flipped and just started sinking.
Andrew Fisher and Johan Malm had no time to think and only a short time to act.
And I just kept on diving under. He was still alive the first time I grabbed him. I couldn't untangle him. He must have been in his seatbelt or something. And I tried about 4 or 5 or 6 times, and then he just went limp.
He eventually managed to drag the 30-year-old driver out by the ankle.
Then I heard the fellas saying he had a breath, and it was just unreal.
In their rush, they'd crawled across razor-sharp oysters, cutting their hands and feet.
He was more important than my feet.
Pull the head around. Stand by you. He deserves all the credit, that young bloke. He was fantastic. If it wasn't for him, that other bloke would probably still be in the car, I reckon. That bloke's a dead-set hero.
Not good enough for Andrew Fisher's boss. He was due to start work at 4:30 this morning, but when he rang to explain he'd been getting treated, his employer said he was sacked.
Yeah, pretty disappointed. So, you know, I got 2 kids, family, just before Christmas.
He's recovering from cuts to his feet and arms, while a fellow rescuer is in hospital for hand surgery.
Didn't think at all, just really a bit nervous there was more people trapped there, because by the time I got down, it would have been a few minutes already.
The driver is in the same hospital in a critical condition. Police are investigating the cause of the crash. They believe speed was involved. Max Futcher, 10 News.
Australian researchers are unlocking one of the brain's great mysteries. They're finding out why children learn languages so much easier than adults, in the hope that will help them understand the effects of hearing problems, even autism.
It looks more like a child's fantasy capsule than a laboratory, but despite the toys, this magnetic scanner is helping researchers understand why young children pick up languages so easily.
When we're older, we have great difficulty learning a second language, but a child of 2 and 3 can learn a second language pretty much as quickly as they can learn a first language.
5-year-old Takoda is listening to sounds. His brain's responses are then compared with an adult's, and it's already clear Takoda is more receptive than someone older.
The peak is there, the same as an adult. It just sort of takes longer.
The revolutionary Australian device is a much easier way to study a child's responses than asking questions.
Takoda, what was it like inside? Was it fun? Was it scary? It's very difficult to get a little kid Koda's age to answer a straight question. Yeah, the scanner helps us to be able to see what the brain's doing without having to ask them any questions at all.
The research could help treat autism and allow cochlear implants in hearing-impaired children from as young as 3 months.
And yet the earlier we can implant a cochlear or hearing aid or cochlear implant into a child, the more likely it is that they're going to learn language normally.
Already the research has convinced the experts that children can learn more than one language from the moment they are born. James Boyce, 10 News.
Next, car paradise in Paris, where style and power take a back seat to being green. And pure gold. Kate Moss bends over backwards for art.
House has treated all kinds of patients.
But this guy is something else.
What's he got that would make him do this? New House, 8:30 Wednesday on 10.
Always dreamed of that special pool room with your very own pool table? Get into Triple F Direct.
Quality pool tables from $899.
Plus a massive range of fitness equipment and trampolines. Triple F Direct. Fitness, fun and furniture.
Sharps Carpet Cleaning. Rely on us first time, every time. If we're not your first call, we will be your second. Cleaning up your mistakes. That's what we do. Fast, efficient service and a guaranteed result. That's what you get from Sharps Carpet Cleaning. Sharps. We've got cleaning covered.
Climate change is a big issue, but there are lots of little things you can do to help. Things like giving your mates a lift to work, or using less hot water. You can turn down the heater. or just turn off the lights when you leave. So what will you do today to earn your stars?
Authorised by the Tasmanian Government, Hobart.
Attention ladies, Lush Bridal has something for you. Over 112 wedding gowns in store, 86 matchless ball or leavers dinner gowns, 76 unique race day or cocktail gowns, plus jewellery for any occasion. Lush Bridal, Ulverston.
When you renovate your kitchen with Plumtech, you're sure to be thrilled with the results. Your neighbours, however, may not be. Create some envy with Plumtech. Derwent Park Plumbing Suppliers. Derwent Park.
Want the latest styles and designs in furniture at affordable prices? Discover Triple F Direct.
Lounge suites from a low $999.
Plus an amazing range of modern furniture and bedroom suites. Triple F Direct. Fitness, fun and furniture.
Supermodel Kate Moss has become a museum exhibit and is now worth her weight in gold. A sculpture of the model made of 18-carat gold has been unveiled in the British Museum. The artist, Mark Quinn, claims it's the largest gold statue since the time of ancient Egypt. The life-size sculpture of the 34-year-old in a yoga pose is called Siren and weighs around 50 kilograms, about the same as Moss. It cost $3.4 million to make, and the artist is hoping to sell it for more than $20 million. Well, there's nothing paltry about what one man is harbouring in his chicken shed. That's where he keeps his prized collection of rare Australian muscle cars, and they're worth millions.
For lovers of Australian muscle cars, it doesn't get any better than this. Side by side in an old chicken shed, every make and model of the bold, brash cars of a bygone era. Over the past 5 years, the value of many of these cars has soared. The legendary GT Falcons of the early 70s are now worth hundreds of thousands. Many Holdens worth similar money.
Well, anything linked with Bathurst is worth a lot of money, and the Brock Tiranas, the Brock Commodores are very, very valuable cars because of the connection with the late Peter Brock.
One of the rarest and most valuable, this Bathurst RT Charger, valued at a cool 200 grand. Business and life coach Jeff Bloom started the collection in 1996, buying some for just a few $1,000s.
I've got a bit of a rags to riches story of my own that I'm quite happy to share with people, and I guess if that inspires people to follow my example, it says, well, hey, if he can do it, then maybe I can do it as well.
As it stands, Jeff estimates the collection's worth around $3 million. But prices are on the rise, and once the US economy picks up, this group of Australian muscle cars could be worth as much as $4.5 million. But don't ask him to pick a favourite.
It's not right to have a favourite child because the others get jealous, so I think my cars they've all got their own individual personalities, they've all got something that makes them unique.
Museum tours can be found on the company website, but be patient. Jeff might be out for a drive. Jesse Grayson, 10 News.
Crippling fuel prices and environmental awareness have forced a global green movement within the car-making industry. At this year's Paris Motor Show, the biggest brand names have offered a glimpse into their eco-friendly futures.
Paradise in Paris, for car buffs at least. It's the world's largest motor show with 1.5 million visitors, showcasing 362 brand names from 25 countries. But this year, the brightest, the biggest and the boldest attention grabbers took a back seat. Now it's a race to go green.
It's a topic of responsibility and people want to feel good about that.
And about their bottom line. Rising petrol prices have boosted environmental awareness worldwide. The latest concept car from Honda is a hybrid, designed to be as good as those currently on the market, but much more affordable.
It is very fuel efficient. That's slightly higher the price is one of the negative points. So this time we try to introduce more affordable with a very good quality car.
It'll hit Aussie roads by the end of next year, followed closely by a sports model.
Fast forward 15 years or so into the future and there'll be plenty of even greener cars available. This one's a world first, an electric engine powered by a hydrogen fuel cell. That means zero pollutant emissions. All it gives off is a little bit of water vapour.
The Hondas are solid rather than stunning. That's where the Renault Ondelius comes in. The hedonist's hybrid, it's got all the glitz without the guilt. They call it saving the planet in style. In Paris, Danielle Isdale, 10 News.
Now for some more glitz, it's Rob Canning from Sports Tonight. And Rob, some breaking news tonight. Kelly Slater has won his 9th World Surfing title.
That's exactly right, Belinda. He did it a short time ago. The 36-year-old won his 3rd round heat in Spain, which was enough to secure a 9th crown.
Slater slaughters the world again. We're paying tribute to the manliest of men, and the Mariners and Reds serve up a sensational storyline.
In last season's supernatural cliffhanger.
Sam lost his only brother.
In the fast-track new season, it's time for revenge.
A special double episode, 8:30 Monday on 10.
Pets Domain Spring Catalogue sale out now. Unbeatable value on Eukanuba dog food from $69.95, save up to $30. Huge 50% off dog coats and jumpers, and natural pig's ears 10 for $15. Plus more huge bargains at Pets Domain Spring Catalogue sale.
When you need money, think Personal Finance Company. We have been helping Tasmanians for over 75 years. Apply for a loan by phone and have super fast approval. With 6 locations around Tasmania, call 13000 Finance for an office near you.
Put your feet up and make yourself more comfortable than you ever imagined. It's time to take the comfort test. Stressless at Euphoria.
Bonniewell Blinds awning sale only happens once a year with 35% off auto and folding arm awnings, 25% off timber shutters and 30% off sunscreen blinds. Don't delay, order today.
Complete Kitchen Solutions are experienced kitchen experts. We will help you make the right choices, the best design, the most suitable finishes and accessories. We will even show you how to install your own kitchen, or we can install it for you. Visit our Cambridge showroom and let us help you.
Here at Eyelines, we believe in listening to you, understanding your needs and what you really want. Good sight is not just about regular checkups. It's about great frames, the best quality lenses, and it's about fashion. You expect friendly professional service and advice. You want an experienced optometrist that you feel comfortable with. Yes, we specialise in your eyes, but we also listen to your needs. You'll be looking good and seeing clearer with Eyelines.
St Leonard's Tyre Service, 73 St Leonard's Road. Tyres. Alignments. Brakes. Batteries. Rubber matting. We pick up and deliver.
St Leonard's Tyre Service, more than just tyres.
On Meet the Press, as the world economy falters, a cut in interest rates could be the welcome relief Australian homeowners need. But will the government stand up to the banks, reluctant to pass it on? Federal Treasurer Wayne Swan is our guest. Meet the Press, Sunday at 8.
To the weather details now, and thick cloud over southern and inland New South Wales in a trough is triggering showers and potentially severe thunderstorms. Widespread cloud over Tasmania, Victoria and South Australia along a front is causing patchy rain. Low cloud over southwest WA in moist westerly winds is bringing the odd shower. Hot, dry northwesterly winds will persist from the interior to the New South Wales coast. A trough will trigger rain and storms across New South Wales and eastern Victoria. A front will bring light showers and a cold change to southwest WA. Onshore winds will cause isolated showers on the tropical Queensland coast. A possible shower in Cairns and Hobart, mostly sunny in Brisbane and Melbourne. Thunderstorms in Sydney, a possible thunderstorm in Canberra, increasing sunshine in Adelaide, showers easing in Perth and a late shower in Darwin and Alice Springs. And that's the latest from 10 News. Sports Tonight with Rob Canning is next. I'm Belinda Hagen. Enjoy your weekend.
Three, two, one.
plan.
I believe in doing things my way.
I believe in looking good for the job.
This one has gotten personal. The grand final full of fury. Tonight, all the latest news and a special tribute to Steve Menzies.
We wish you luck, darling. We've been very proud of you over all the years. No, I can't.
Hello, I'm Rob Canning. Welcome to Toyota Sports Tonight. Massive show ahead. Here's what you're in for.
MotoGP mayhem. Generation Next of the AFL.
He's a young man that has leapt right up.
The A-League and Adelaide meets the Mariners.
Incredible!
Racing on the turf and the track, plus our Aussies abroad on fire. Jason's day at the golf, Bede cut sick in Spain, and our Major League weapons phenomenal performance. It'll be great. Sports Tonight.
Manly and Melbourne have adopted different approaches to grand final preparations. The Storm were enjoying Sydney's summer feel and hit the beach today. The Sea Eagles were on the training paddock, and in between all of this, Storm coach Craig Bellamy turned 50.
It's one of those things that could so easily have flown under the radar in grand final week, but Sports Tonight wasn't about to let Bellamy off the hook.
Yeah, I suppose it had to come at some stage. I'm not overly impressed with reaching 50, I must say, but anyway, it's yeah, thanks for that, and yeah, it's business as usual, mate.
Melbourne know the chances of another grand final blowout are slim, but despite the suspension of captain Cameron Smith, the Storm say everything's going to plan.
The preparation's been really good. They're very relaxed at the moment, so once we sort of move from Coogee to Parramatta, then we sort of make a real lockdown and we're in our major preparation, but everything so far has been going well.
Shaved down and fired up, Michael Crocker is preparing for his 5th grand final in 6 years. And it might be the big back rower the Sea Eagles had in mind when they were practising under the high ball this afternoon. It was just after half-time in last year's decider when Crocker KO'd Manly fullback Brett Stewart as he attempted to defuse a bomb.
Crocker will be going in what's called Give Stewart and Disneyland Part 2, probably.
Regardless, ANZ isn't a happy hunting ground for Manly. They've lost 3 of their past 4 matches at the venue, leaking 40 points to the lowly South Sydney in round 23.
Nathan Merritt goes through and scores another one.
Melbourne have already beaten Manly twice this year. They ran out 26-4 winners in round 5, before the rematch in round 22 ended with an all-in brawl, featuring, you guessed it, Michael Crocker.
Michael Crocker, remember the grand final last year, a big shot on Stewart.
One small difference, the Storm had their captain available for both matches.
Well, Manly fans will of course be hoping club great Steve Menzies gets the perfect present in his last NRL game. And today his family told us about the boy who became the Beaver.
Another newspaper, another tribute.
There he is again, what a handsome fellow.
For the mother of Steve Menzies, it's been a humbling time.
It makes me feel very, very proud that people think so highly of him.
But Carolyn Gerard wouldn't be a mum if she didn't throw open the photo album for a look at the junior Beaver. She watched her boy with the angelic smile play every weekend.
He did tell me when he was little that one day they would be collecting football cards with him on them, and we all thought that was a big joke.
348 first-grade games later, and trophies, jerseys and all sorts of mementos flood the family home. Videos? Well, there's plenty of them too, like the one that shows him on the rampage for Harbord United in 1990. It was the same year he was introduced to a national audience, playing for Freshwater High as their rangy number 13.
Runner for Menzies, who will score next to the post. Well, Menzies has looked like a danger each time he handled the ball.
But his deeds weren't limited to the football field. Menzies has always been cool under pressure. Now he's hoping Manly can bounce back too. from last year's grand final drubbing by the Storm.
It was here nearly 30 years ago that the legend of Steve Menzies began, but don't be fooled into thinking all the skills he's shown since that day are purely down to him.
His grandmother's entitled to at least some credit.
Absolutely, for his sidestep. It was me trying to catch him when his mother was at college, and I was the one who was about 3 or 4. I couldn't catch him, the wretched little boy, running around everywhere, and I just couldn't get him.
But the realisation this is his final game for the Eagles, too much for Mum.
Yes, Stephen, we wish you luck, darling. We've been very proud of you over all the years. No, I can't. I can't get through the sentence.
OK, let's check in with TAB Sportsbet's Glenn Munsey with the latest odds on Sunday's grand final.
Well, thanks, Rob. Yeah, the whole town gripped by beaver fever getting ready for the grand final on Sunday night. So let's have a look at the grand final. Money continues to roll in for the Melbourne Storm. They have tightened up a fraction since last night. Looking at that line there of 2.5 to Melbourne. The margins are the same, just slight favourites there, Manly 1-12. The half-full double options. Now, remember, the draw does come into play there at half-time and also at 80 minutes. The first scoring play. How do you think the game will be started? Will it be a try? Will it be a penalty goal or even a field goal? You do have those betting options there. And the try bet, you can bet under or over that 6.5 point margin. In the first try scorer market, no great change from last night. Still Israel Folau and Brett Stewart the favourites there. He has been popular today, Brett Stewart, but so is Anthony Quinn and Steve Turner of the Melbourne Storm. The Clive Churchill Medal, we have an outright favourite now. Manly halfback and captain Matt Orford into favouritism over Cooper Cronk, but Jamie Lyon and Anthony Watmo both have had good support this afternoon. Now let's have a look at how they will go on Sunday. Will Brett Stewart score a try? I should say a try, of course. You can go yes or no there. Billy Slater, also the Beaver. We've had a story about Beaver. Will he score a try on his final NRL match or will he not? We've got Greg Inglis and also Israel Folau. Check out all the betting options on Sunday's grand final at tabsportsbet.com.au or get down to your local TAB and may the best team win, as long as it's a winner for us.
Port Adelaide coach Mark Williams has surprisingly declared that Power is willing to trade its number 4 draft pick. The comments are a shock as the upcoming draft is the last before the new Gold Coast club is allowed to grab most of the top talent.
First-round picks are precious to most clubs in this last uncompromised draft. The one exception is Port Adelaide.
We'd put pick 4 and 22 on the table. It's really dependent on how interested the opposition are, and we have to reflect on what's available and also with the kids here.
Pick 4 might flush out a Daniel Kerr from the Eagles or even an Alan Didak from Collingwood. West Coast's Mark Seaby is already hot property after asking to be traded. Richmond among a host of clubs looking for a ruckman. Meanwhile, up in Canberra, the nation's best young players have felt the pain of the beep test. It's the most brutal assessment done at draft camp, a genuine survival of the fittest.
It is daunting. I mean, they walk in and all these guys are sitting around. It's like a bit like the Colosseum, isn't it? The gladiators are coming in and the last one survives.
There's different forms of courage, and this is one when you push yourself to the limit and drain your tank and see how far you can go, and watching players beside you fall off, and do you stay in, do you drop out?
On a hot day in the nation's capital, the 3-kilometre endurance event proved another very tough test. Victorian midfielder Dan Hanbury clocked the fastest time, but West Perth youngster Stephen Hill has been the clear standout over 3 days.
He's a young man that has leapt right up, in my view, in his potential to play AFL. And it wasn't just in that test. He's just been super in the speed, even the endurance today.
Hill's all-round testing performance virtually guarantees he'll now be a top 10 pick on draft day.
All-Australian mid-year, the boy from Western Australia, but he has set the all-time camp record for the agility test, beating Daniel Pearce's record, and of course he went on to win a AFL Rising Star Award.
And with the camp over, it'll be a nervous few weeks for these guys before the national draft on November 29.
He's done it too. Oh, that's magnificent!
Get this, the Central Coast Mariners have come from 3-0 down to draw with Adelaide United in a thrilling match at Hindmarsh tonight. A controversial penalty in the 5th minute handed the Reds a dream start.
This is on the follow-through, but he's clearly got the ball.
Travis Dodd with no trouble converting from the spot. and the home side didn't have to wait long before doubling its lead.
It's gone well over the goalkeeper and it's headed in by Robert Cornswaite, who just can't stop scoring at the moment. Again.
So Cristiano looked to have put the game beyond doubt in the 49th minute, but the Mariners staged a late comeback thanks to a scintillating strike from Mile Jedinak. And with just 7 minutes remaining, Matt Simon salvaged the match for the visitors, a 3-3 draw. Meanwhile, Sydney FC coach John Kosmina is playing down talk of a rift between he and Queensland boss Frank Farina ahead of tomorrow night's clash. Kosmina called Farina a whinger late last season, but he insists it was just a bit of fun.
Yeah, a bit of banter last season, and it was all a bit of fun. But no, there's no... I suppose there's always a bit of one-upmanship amongst old teammates. Everyone likes to stick it up the other one. But apart from that, no.
He likes to talk a bit of trash. Sydney has received a boost with Shannon Cole signing a new 3-year deal just days after being named in the Socceroos squad. Victorian leg spinner Bryce McGain could be sidelined for most of the summer due to the shoulder injury that forced him to leave Australia's tour of India. McGain's replacement, Jason Frazier, went wicketless in the first innings of the tour match against the Indian Presidents 11. The Aussies 4 for 191 in reply to the home side's 455. You are watching Sports Tonight. Time for a break, but coming up, chaos at Phillip Island.
The Australian Grand Prix gets underway in sensational circumstances. Our Aussies assault on the Major League Baseball scene.
Cabrera strikes out, Balfour coming in. Back-to-back Ks and pumping the fist.
And Jason Day dreaming.
Album makes me feel
like a dancing queen. I remember the album cover. They were all squeezed in the front of a helicopter, one of those big bubble front helicopters, and that was the first record I ever played in my life.
Your idols sing ABBA's hits Sunday on 10. City 2 Street is the place to go for all your formal gear, weddings, parties, school formals. We have the latest suits to hire with full try-on range at great prices. Suit packages, suit, shirt and tie from only $199. Complete the look with shoes from Windsor Smith, cufflinks, belts and hats. City 2 Street.
Looking for something different this Christmas? Try King Tow Bars and Trailers. You can lay by now or get an ARB gift voucher. Action 4x4 DVDs, 4x4 straps, mud mats, driving lights, recovery kits, tyre pumps and heaps more. King Tow Bars and Trailers, 5 Florence Street, Moona, your ARB 4x4 superstore.
If you like thinly cut,
we do.
Then these will be the chips for you.
The chips from who?
From Smith's.
The ones you love and love to bite. So happy together. I can't see me loving no others but Smith's.
When Smiths make a thinly cut chip, everyone's happy. Smith's Thinly Cut. Eat happy.
For some great snacks and drinks that will make everyone in the family happy any time of day, visit Dome Cafe at Sandy Bay, where you'll also find the world's finest coffees.
City 2 Street is the place to go for all your formal gear, weddings, parties, school formals. We have the latest suits to hire with full try-on range at great prices. Suit packages, suit, shirt and tie from only $199. Complete the look with shoes from Windsor Smith, cufflinks, belts and hats. City 2 Street.
Poor Rove. He has to hang out with sweetheart Casey Chambers and get paid to listen to two of the funniest guys on earth, Adam Hills and Carl Barron.
Oh, I hate myself.
Help Rove. Share his burden. 9 o'clock Sunday.
This battle's gonna heat up.
Welcome back. Australia's Casey Stoner has defied the pain barrier and beaten the Phillip Island lap record to top the timesheets after opening practice for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. And Sports Tonight's Greg Rust joins us now with the details. Greg? Sunday, it's race day. All three classes battle it out from 11 a.m. with the main race starting at 2:15. Well, just a a short time ago, Kelly Slater won his 9th World Surfing title. The 36-year-old advanced in the 3rd round at the Billabong Pro Mundaka in Spain, which was enough to ensure the American cannot be overtaken in the standings. Australia's Bede Durbidge has defeated replacement Ruben Ash in round 2, and with Slater winning that 9th world crown, the race is now on for what you could call the best of the rest.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be awesome to get second to Kelly, but Taj is surfing amazing at the moment, so yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but just see what happens.
Mundaka's famous left-hand barrel came to life in the afternoon session, with Hawaiian Freddie P claiming a 9.5 out of 10 for this ride. Aussies Kai Otten and Adrian Ace Buchan also progressed. An Australian is developing a reputation as one of the best clutch pitchers in the Major League, but 30-year-old Sydney-sided Grant Balfour is also becoming known for his fiery temper. The Tampa Bay right-hander unleashed when an opponent kicked some dirt towards the mound, and the Aussie came back for more after striking him out.
Cabrera strikes out. Balfour coming in. Back-to-back Ks and pumping the fist at Cabrera.
You know, Balfour's an intense guy, and he's out there yelling on the mound always, so I guess Orlando just took a little offense to it. But, you know, that's the way it is in the postseason. Emotions run high.
Keep an eye on our Aussie. Tampa Bay now lead the series against the White Sox 1-0. Well, he's been the subject of paintings and sculptures, but this is surely the most bizarre piece of artwork portraying Muhammad Ali. The masterminds behind this cornfield creation have shaped the likes of Oprah Winfrey and Jay Leno in the past, but this is the first time their subject has checked out their work firsthand.
And he just shows up and they don't call us, and all of a sudden there's Muhammad Ali, and everyone in my restaurant is like falling, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's right. It's not every time the boxing legend crops up like that. Who wrote that? A strong start for the Aussie contingent at the PGA Championship in New York. Steve Allen is one off the pace and was helped along by this shot, setting up birdie at the 18th. Jason Day got even closer.
It's in. It's not an ace, but it's in.
What you get right here. Day is 2 shots behind clubhouse leader Jeff Overton, who carded an impressive 5 under 67. And our netballers are back on home soil for the first time since winning the 2007 World Championships. But England reckon it's a great chance of beating the Diamonds in Newcastle.
Well, if that's what they think, good on them. But, you know, we're really confident and we know that we can really put it out there to anyone, any challenge that we get.
It is a 2-test series with the second match in Adelaide on Wednesday. Still to come on Sports Tonight, the World High Wire Championships. Can weekend hustlers' momentum continue? And V8 Racing's Odd Couple team up.
Difference between motor racing and the hustle and bustle of being in cities, and I'm pretty sure he's done all this and now he's moved out. So.
Grace Barry's not the innocent officer you think she is.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
Tell me something I don't know about you then.
The scandalous affair that begins right here. Rush, Tuesday on 10.
Rapid Built Kid Homes. Thought you couldn't afford to build your own home? Let Rapid Built Kid Homes show you how to reap the savings as an owner-builder. Call into Rapid Built Kid Homes today. 293 Hobart Road, Youngtown.
Pregnancy is a very special time. Now you can look and feel special as well. Welcome to Chalice Maternity, Cat and Fiddle Arcade, Hobart.
Regular walking is the best exercise. 30 minutes a day makes a big difference to your health. So on Friday the 3rd of October, help shrink your carbon footprint and take part in National Walk to Work Day. If you can't walk all the way, combine a walk with public transport. If you must use the car, leave it a good distance from work and walk the rest of the way. Register now at walk.com.au. It's free.
Painting is all about choice. Colours, shades, textures. Your choice, your colours. We have more colours, more choices. giving you the confidence to be inspired. With experienced qualified staff, from a wall to your whole house. Bex, making painting easy.
Rapid Built Kit Homes. Thought you couldn't afford to build your own home? Let Rapid Built Kit Homes show you how to reap the savings as an owner builder. Call into Rapid Built Kit Homes today. 293 Hobart Road, Youngtown.
Ford drivers Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup are out to create history with their third straight Bathurst title next weekend. The pair have perfect chemistry with the car, but away from the track, they are racing's odd couple.
Life on the land is pretty good for Craig Lowndes and his family. Situated just over an hour from Brisbane, his farm is his escape.
For me, I suppose it's a bit normal, really, to have that difference between motor racing and the hustle and bustle of being in cities and racing cars and doing what I do, and then coming out here and just basically being able to switch off.
Lowndes' Ford teammate Jamie Whincup's lifestyle is a world away. As the leader of the V8 Supercar's new generation of drivers, the 25-year-old prefers the fast-paced existence of the Gold Coast. He's taught me a lot about how to conduct myself around the track and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure he's done all this and now he's moved out. So. While they may lead different lifestyles away from racing, on the track their personalities are identical, and it's because of that they'll start among the favourites for their third consecutive Bathurst crown.
They have done the double!
We've got such a great combination because the same height, same sort of weight. We understand the car the same way, and that's really, it makes both of our lives a lot easier.
Only the pairing of Peter Brock and Jim Richards has won 3 straight before, but that was with different teams. Lowndes is chasing his 4th title.
Well, we've had a test day not that long ago, and we're pretty confident because the car was running strong. You know, we had a great result at the 500 at Phillip Island.
Whincup's after number 3, and while Bathurst would be sweet, his eyes are on the bigger prize. I'm thinking championship, and I may not take a risk or a huge risk at Bathurst as I normally would if I was out of championship contention.
But a champion!
Weekend Hustler remains the hot favourite for tomorrow's Turnbull Stakes at Flemington despite his wide barrier draw. Looking for his 8th Group 1 win, the 4-year-old is stepping up to the 2,000 metres for the first time.
Brad Rawiller has all the pressure of climbing aboard the best horse in the nation, and his rivals are desperate to deliver a knockout blow. But Weekend Hustler's jockey has no doubt the odds-on favourite can do the job, even from barrier 13.
I am on the best horse. He suits my style of riding. Like I said, I think we are a good mix.
Maldivian was disappointing in the Underwood Stakes 2 weeks ago. His trainer's not sure what to expect tomorrow.
This could be, the race of, the most outrageous tactics that we've seen for the year. It could be just a non-event and the Hustler wins by 5.
After all, there are still some small doubts about the Hustler.
He's got probably everything against him tomorrow, but we still think he'll come through. So, the weight advantage a couple of horses have got on him and the wide barrier and the 2,000 for the first time.
Champion stayer Efficient goes in at long odds. He's early in a preparation aimed at back-to-back Melbourne Cups.
I think based on his first up run where he finished off the race really nicely, we'd be expecting him to do the same tomorrow.
Wollongong trainer Diane Poitevin Lane and her husband Carl are confident they can keep their Melbourne Cup dream alive at Randwick tomorrow. Their horse, Get Up Jude, contests the prestigious Group 1 Metropolitan.
It's not quite the sweeping straight of Flemington, but that's the journey Get Up Jude is on course to make come the first Tuesday in November. For small-time provincial trainer Diane Poitevin Lane and her husband Carl, it would be a lifetime fantasy come true.
You dream about getting a horse good enough, and you sometimes think you've got to pinch yourself to realise, it is actually really happening.
Costing just $8,000, the Zabeel gelding has now won almost $250,000 in prize money and subsequently attracted some lucrative offers. but the horse is definitely not for sale. Just last Saturday, the 5-year-old beat some handy stayers, including AJC Derby winner Fumicino, to claim the Group 3 Colin Stephen at Randwick. Tomorrow's Metropolitan is run over the same track and distance, and a top 3 finish would ensure the horse's path to the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup continues.
Basically racing against a similar type of field that he raced last time. I think there'll be probably a little bit more speed in the race, which will suit him better. And no, he's a great chance.
The Metropolitan is just one of 4 Group 1 features making up Randwick's bumper Super Saturday meeting.
OK, we've seen the odds for the NRL Grand Final, so now let's check in with the rest of the weekend's sporting fixtures with Glenn Munsey from TAB Sportsbet.
Well, yes, let's have a look at some of the other grand finals on Sunday. We've got the Toyota Cup there. That's the under-20s competition. But first up, the New South Wales Cup, Newtown and Wentworthville, with Wenty the favourite in that one. In the Toyota Cup grand final, that'll be the match before the NRL, where Canberra are the favourites there over Brisbane. English Super League final on Sunday morning as well, St Helens and Leeds. So a feast of rugby league coming up this weekend. Well, talking about league of a different kind, AFL. Only a week ago we had the grand final. The market's up on next year already. Geelong and Hawthorn equal pick. Cricket, the Test series in India. Australia the outsiders there. India the favourite to win the series. Full round of English Premier League this week. Our favourite side, Hull, after knocking over Arsenal this week, still rated an outsider to Tottenham. Last match of the round is Everton versus Newcastle. Looking at A-League soccer now. 3 matches to go in the A-League competition. The late game on Sunday, Newcastle at home to Wellington. We're into the playoff series, the major part of the year in Major League Baseball. Game number 2 in the morning between the LA Dodgers and Boston. The NBA pre-season next week starting there. Let's have a look at the overall winner. The Lakers on top of the Celtics. Australian MotoGP at Phillip Island on Sunday. Will it be Valentino Rossi or will it be Casey Stoner? Plenty of betting options available on that one. And racing 4 Group 1s at Randwick tomorrow. The headline act is the Epsom Handicap. Rahib the favourite there. Whilst at Flemington, Australia's new wonder horse, Weekend Hustler, is an odds-on favourite in the Turnbull Stakes to add another Group 1 to his war chest. Well, that's it from TAB Sportsbet on a great weekend of sport, not only here in Australia, but around the world. Get down to your local TAB and have a bet on something.
In last season's supernatural cliffhanger,
Sam lost his only brother.
in the fast-track new season, it's time for revenge.
A special double episode, 8:30 Monday on 10.
I ran out of gas. I got a flat tire. Locust! It wasn't my fault!
Don't make excuses and don't miss the memories. The original Blues Brothers Revival Band are coming to get your feet moving into overdrive.
Okay, you can open them now.
Guess whose dad's been to McDougal's?
What happened to the golf clubs? Maybe next year, honey. Maybe next year.
At McDougal's, Husqvarna chainsaws start from just $399. You get the Husqvarna reliability and 2-year warranty. Or for the handyman, the Pool and Pro from just $269.
I'm Dr. John Darcy.
And I'm his wife, Wendy.
Our relationship relies on healthy hearing.
John's a great listener,
And you, my dear, are a great talker.
though he does get a bit clever sometimes, don't you, dear?
Thanks to Australian Hearing, you can now take a free hearing screening over the phone, anytime, anywhere in Australia.
Can they help with selective hearing, darling?
So, call to take Telscreen today on 1800 826 500.
Mona Mufflers, the art of exhaust systems. Own a Harley-Davidson for as little as $12,550 right away. Ride now, pay later at $70 per week. Finance and insurance available in store.
Play the day time now, and it's fair to say the result of the World High Wire Championships is still very much in the balance. Get it? In the balance? Well, it actually is, because high winds affected the first day of competition, so it is witty. And these aerial acrobats, they needed to master a 1 kilometre stretch of wire in South Korea. That's a long way to be walking on a tightrope. Very long way with a beam. Local favourite Kwon Wan Tai was the only competitor who had a crack, and for that, he can have our play of the day. Can't wait for the next round. All right, that's the show. I'm Rob Canning. Thanks for your company. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
I believe you don't have to be a king or a queen to be on the throne, if you know what I'm saying. Seriously.